That's so funny.
Nick in this picture.
Why? Because it actually looks like what something he would normally wear.
Definitely. How do I? Okay.
Ow. Hey, oh shit. Is Saturn, is that you, Oscar? So I've been looking forward to this all week.
Look at my corn hat.
I know. I saw that fucking lost it, dude.
I don't even know where I found that. I think I borrowed that from somebody.
It's not Nick's? I thought it was Nick's. I thought Nick had like brought it over to you.
That's possible. That's fucking possible. All right. I've been looking forward to ranting a little bit.
About what?
About stuff.
Okay, so not Blinx, right?
No, not
Because you just started blaming Blinx today.
Oh, hold on. Let me ask. Can y'all hear him? What is your video? Stop. This fucking Skype is weird.
What?
It's like moving around. Okay. Okay. No, Blinx is fine. I just have I mean, were you hearing me complain?
With the yeah, the cameras are always fucked. The camera's fucked. It's a 16-year-old game, dude.
No, I know, but the camera.
Yeah, it's bad. I remember it being really bad.
And I'm literally like fighting it. I'm fighting a boss, and I'm trying to see the gems around me, and I'm fighting this camera to not look on the boss. But I mean, it seems pretty cool. The way you pick up gems seems really stupid, though.
Well, it's because they want you to fuck it up by accident.
They want you to fuck it up. See, that's
right.
what I'm thinking. Like
it makes it more of a challenge. Well, I don't know if it's purposely black, but maybe that's
but it's the idea of, well, I see 2 of these gems. I guess I'll pick that up because 2 of these gems is better than 1 gem.
Right.
But who knows when you're going to come across another one of those, and then you accidentally pick up one, and you're like, fuck.
I told you that shit was going to be annoying.
It would be cool if, like, you just needed, like, 3 to get a power, but you can, like, move them around in your inventory, and they'd have to be, like, 1, 2, 3 in a row, or something to, I don't know.
Dude, Blinx 3, dude. I'm all for it.
Oh, my God.
Blinx 3, because Blinx 2 was terrible.
You know what's funny? Every year at Giant Bomb for E3, they do a 1-hour interview with Phil Spencer of Xbox.
Phil Spencer, okay.
And
they ask him when Blinx 3 is coming out.
Well, they had written down a bunch of like old Xbox properties on the chalkboard, and then towards the end of the interview, he just started going down the list. Like, so when are we going to get a new Sudeki and stuff? And I think he brought up Blinx, and I'm pretty sure Phil Spencer dismissed it offhand.
Oh, he said no?
Yeah, something like
that.
Well,
R-Tune's no longer around. They got folded into something else along with Kavia and Smilebit?
One of those. What happened to Smilebit?
I don't know. There's a bunch of these little Japanese companies that got folded into some larger company. I forget what.
Oh, that Microsoft Game Studios?
Yeah, maybe.
Smilebit. Man.
Maybe not Smilebit. Maybe it was. I think it may be another different Japanese one.
Well, Smilebit. That's where the Panzer Dragoon guy, the Phantom Dust guy, Yukio Futatsugi, he became part of Microsoft Game Studios. So I think it's that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one of the Xbox One exclusives that I kind of regret not. I mean, I can't play because I don't have an original Xbox.
Original Xbox?
Xbox One is that fucking Crimson Dragon game, which I hear is terrible.
Shit. You know, I bought that game and I still have not started it up.
I heard it's bad.
I still have not started it up.
Because when the Xbox came out, they were like doing microtransactions in like all of their games, and they even did it in that one, and it's like really shitty. Yeah. So I don't know. Blinx seems all right. Let me ask you: does the time limit on a stage ever become an issue?
Yes. It does become an issue. So where you're like, oh my god, I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this. I don't remember 100% sure, but I remember having that problem a couple times. Where at the end, like I think probably towards the end, it's probably like, oh shit, I barely made it.
You know,
I don't
I'm
know.
not good with time limits.
I know. I don't know how big of a problem it is. I don't remember, but I remember at least a couple times being like, "Fuck, I gotta do that entire level over again now."
Yeah.
10 minutes. 10 minutes is 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, 10 minutes. But the levels aren't that long.
10 minutes seems like a lot. Yes, exactly. It does. It seems like plenty of time, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah. Also, one more thing with the vacuums, you have to be very careful because the vacuum upgrades don't stack. So there's a vacuum that lets you suck up these huge mega things, and then there's one vacuum that lets you suck up the water.
Yeah.
But those don't stack. So if you get one, you can suck up water.
Can you?
But then when you switch to the other one, you lose the ability to
forever.
Suck up. Yeah, you have to go back and switch, rebuy the. I think it's rebuy the vacuum or just equip it. It might it might rebuy the vacuum. Because I remember. Yeah, because I remember there was like, I remember I had the water one. I was going through sucking out all the water places, and I was like, oh, there's a place with a big with the big one, so I got to go get the big one. And I got the big one, and I got it out, and then I went to like another level. It's like, oh shit, there's another water one.
So wait, where'd you replay stages a lot?
I mean, that's all for the collectible stuff. To be honest, the collectible stuff's not worth it though. I mean, it's worth it if you just want to do it for the sake of the challenge, but for the actual reward for getting all the collectibles is just like a video. It's a really shitty video too, man. It sucks.
But that's not the one I have to fucking watch, is it?
No.
Okay.
You just gotta beat the game.
There's no like. I noticed there was a long cutscene at the beginning, and then there's been like no story.
No, that's the next cutscene you get is at the end.
and that's the one that's amazing, dude. I skipped the part of the intro. It was going on too long. I guess I need to rewatch it so I know what even happens at the end.
You didn't see? What did you even see?
I don't know. They were like in a factory. I don't know.
They're in a time factory. The factory that makes crystal time gems, and then the rowdy rough boys or whatever the hell they are. Those little those pigs on the motorcycles like fucked everything up. They're trying to steal the gems to like sell off for profit. But when you put too many gems together in the same time, they morph into monsters, and that's why you have these time monsters you have to take out. And then
this ending is worth it.
And these rowdy rough boys, they kidnapped Princess Lena and ran off with her. So you have to go catch her back. And then no, actually they're about to shut off that world. I forget the world.
I'll watch it again.
World 028 something or something like that. And they're like, shut off the world, cut it off. We'll just cut it off from the universe. And then you didn't see Blinx like running in like a badass, like jumping into the time portal. Dude. You didn't see that, dude? That's the best part.
I'm gonna watch it.
He like jumps into the time portal. It's like, no, Blinx, stop! And then he just jumps in and pew pew pew.
So
goes
tell me about Blinx 2. Do you like Blinx 2?
No, Blinx 2 is terrible. It's not even. It doesn't even follow the same. It doesn't even follow the same. The same. Like if it would have just been like more world, and then like boss like that again, I would have been fine. But it's not like that at all. I can't remember.
Like a Sly 2 kind of thing.
No, it's a completely different game. I think it's like a mission mode or something. It's like, oh, sneak by these guys and get to the end of the level, and you're like, what the fuck? What? Wait, where's the time sweep? There's a time sweeper, dude. And then you end up playing as the pigs too, for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's like a biker pig on the cover.
Right. I don't know why you. It's like I don't know, dude. I forget why, but I remember being severely disappointed.
So how far are you in the Wonderful 101?
Beat it.
Shut the fuck up.
Beat it today.
I don't believe you.
Beat it today.
No, someone in chat told me you're like on mission 6 or something.
Yeah, that was last night when I went to sleep. But I played all of it off the feed today. I kid you not. The last boss battle that takes an hour.
An hour.
And then you fight. Okay, because you have to fight. First of all, you have to fight the stupid machine with the little blue bubbles.
And then you talking about Jerkinga?
Yes. Wait. First of all, how many of those names? Here's my list. Oh, I spilled water on it. Here's all my list. My list for Wonderful 101. How many of those names? How many names do you recognize? Like, can you remember?
I mean, not most of them.
That's some of the dumbest shit. The naming system on that, dude. They need to. Whoever localized that shit should have like done something with better. Like Immorta, just call her Karen, dude. Just call her Karen. That's it. It's nice and easy. With all
did you really finish?
Yeah, I finished.
What's the final scene during the credits or after the credits?
During the credits.
Or
you mean after the credits?
after?
Or no, before the credits?
I don't remember.
You play as Luca, right? You're talking about when you play as Luca, and you're running through basically the exact same thing as the first level.
No.
Oh no?
No. Are you lying to me?
No, I beat the game. I saw.
No, you're playing as Wonder Red. But he's not Wonder Red. He's in his
did I miss something?
He's in his normal clothes. And what is he doing?
This is after the credits?
I don't
Maybe
remember.
I didn't get this.
It's like the epilogue, or it's like it's after
the epilogue. You play as Luca. He's a Wonder Goggles King, and he's like shooting beams out of his ass. You're playing the same exact level. It's literally the first level replayed over.
That does sound familiar.
You don't even remember the game, dude. What the fuck?
I played. That's not the ending I'm talking about. I was referring to just the last act of the game. Basically, once shit starts getting crazier and crazier.
Wait. So last act you mean Operation 9, or you mean Operation 9A? 9B or 9C?
I would say all of 8 and 9.
Oh my god! You mean when you're flying around as a stupid robot carrying a ship, just shooting shit?
Yeah, well, I mean all of it.
That's a big nothing burger. Nothing even happens. You're just like running around like pew 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 pew, and then when you die, you just reload it and go back in again.
You were never gonna like this game, were you?
No. Oh well, I had really high hopes, but I remember playing it, getting into level 8. And then I was getting like 7 or 8. Okay, I did this all off the feed. By the way, the inside of Vorkin inside like body magic school bus.
Were you like getting bigger?
Well, yeah, but you're inside Vorkin's body, like trying to kill the bacteria or whatever infection.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's terrible. That's a terrible level, man. It's the worst. The worst, man. Absolutely the worst.
Why is it?
How long has it been since you played the game?
I mean, it was when it came out.
Right.
And I played it a bunch after I finished it as well.
Dude.
I don't know what to say, man. I think all that stuff was so cool.
What about... Here's the thing. I may have thought it was cool if I hadn't watched Gurren Lagann.
What?
You ever watch Gurren Lagann?
No.
The anime?
No.
Dude. Like, Gurren Lagann does all this, like, Sentai Gundam robot stuff, like, tenfold of anything they do in Wonderful 101.
Yeah, but I mean, this is just sort of paying homage to stuff like that, obviously.
I guess, man.
I mean, a lot of Kamiya stuff does the...
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you like the fact that they're all, like, constantly, like, referencing Platinum games?
Yeah, I like that. I think it's cool. I think it's kind of meta.
No! What? It's so, like... What's the word? It's it's like when you're full of yourself, but not full of yourself.
What?
You know what I mean? Yeah, Gurren Lagann is not, like, good It's not the greatest writing. That's not what I'm trying to argue. I'm not saying Gurren Lagann's great writing, but, like, they do the comedy and the big... Like, you're talking about this over-the-top, like... Oh, this bigger and bigger robot, like in Gurren Lagann, they just do that. It's like, oh, you have a robot? Oh, I'm gonna make an even bigger robot. There's literally a part in Gurren Lagann where he's like, there's 2 mech robots and they got to fight a bigger mech, and they're like, fuck it, and he takes one of the bigger mechs and just slams it on top of his head and like forces it onto his head, and then so he's like, see, now I'm a bigger robot, and then he fights the bad guy.
That sounds pretty cool.
No, it's fucking hilarious, and I don't want to spoil it, but. I don't like the comedic timing in I feel like they're always... Anytime they do something cool, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to punch it. And then somebody slips on a banana peel and it's like, whoops. Like, that's, like, the extent of the humor. I feel like they use that... I feel they use that trope way too much in Wonderful 101. Whereas, if you watch Gurren Lagann, there's one... I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But there's one part where... The main guy, I can't even remember his name. His name is not Kamiya, right? I keep thinking his name's Kamiya, but his name's not Kamiya. It's K something. I can't remember his name. But he's fighting this super huge mega bad guy, and he gives himself up for one of the most ridiculous reasons. It's the funniest part in the entire show, dude.
You know, I obviously don't watch a lot of anime, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the Tales of games, yeah, I really like, and I read a lot of criticism saying, oh, it's just a bunch of like anime tropes and anime cliches and stuff, and
About the games?
yeah, yeah, and the Tales of games, and I'm always like, well, I mean, sure, but they do it really well, and I guess I don't watch a lot of anime, so it doesn't bother me as much,
Well,
or
anime is
like
just
it's
tropes
more
as hell.
novel to me, maybe.
Yeah, I mean that could be the possibility.
Not really
Kam-
novel, but
Kamina, his name's Kamina. Kamina. Kamina.
I definitely wouldn't think. I didn't think the Wonderful 101 stuff wasn't cool because I saw a cooler something in an anime, but maybe I didn't watch Gurren Lagann.
Well, if I had it, that's just off the top of my head. Like, because I just feel like, how many times in the game did you like Wanda punch? Like you did that like 50 times maybe in the
Yeah.
game. It just at the end of the game when it was there, I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna punch this guy and I'm gonna do this thing and then I'm gonna probably I'm gonna make some huge giant enormous blaster and blast this guy away and then he blasts him away and he's like, oh wait, he's not dead yet. You gotta do another one and I'm like, oh great.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean,
Draw a
it's-
big P for platinum. I was like, oh my god, dude. Like everything in that game is like platinum this and mother platinum and platinum robot. And then there's a big platinum sign that's actually a spaceship. And then, you got to protect it. Don't let it get destroyed.
Do you think it maybe like means something, or like they're trying to say
Yes,
something
absolutely.
with all
Absolutely. But you know what the sad, okay, so you're saying that I see this, I could see this. I don't know if it is, but I could see this as a very big, like, oh, we're the last bastion, last defense on Earth for all the good games. We have to protect the, Mother Platinum from all the invaders or, all these people buying shit games or whatever. I could
Sure.
see that.
But I mean, you understand, like this company or these people, they have a history, right? I
Oh,
mean,
sure.
All
I mean,
like with what happened with Capcom and them.
I
Sort
know.
Of like,
The kid Luca goes to Blossom. He's part of like the Clover Club or something, Clover Kindergarten or something like that. And it's on the little stamp card. There's a clover on it. And I was like, yeah, that's.
I think I really just like Wonder Red because you have all these like goofy ass characters, but he's always so sincere with his I don't know, just like him being a hero is
stand
so.
up this.
There's like a sincerity there that anytime he delivers like a line, I feel like he really sells it. I don't know.
Sells it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
I really
this
like
character.
that character.
I'm
Like
okay
anytime
with
he
the-
monologues or whatever, I think it's really good.
Boy, here's the thing. I played it in Japanese
No.
because I played it in English the first 2 times, and I remember being very annoyed at it. And I just kind of wanted to put it in Japanese, so I didn't like.
Oh man, so like that's not even the same Wonder Red. I don't know what your Wonder Red was.
Yeah, the thing is, I remember just being very annoyed at the English voices.
Some of the characters can be annoying, but I think they're supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, but I don't like. You mean Wonder Pink?
like green and pink. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
some
here's
of
the
those
thing.
characters
I liked green. I liked
I
white.
yeah, I mean, I feel like they start off kind of annoying, but they all kind of grow on you.
I didn't like blue for a long time.
But
I just thought it was really dumb.
Yeah, but
then-
I think you're not supposed to like blue and
No, I know. And then, but by the end of the second half, I was like, dude, I don't even care about him anymore. Like it was just one of the. It just seemed like a big sob story. Like, oh, I lost my father in this. Okay. And then Blue's like, I lost my brother. It's like, oh, your story is more sad than mine. Okay. And then he finds out, and then then the kid's like, I lost my mother. And by the way, how are you okay? Okay, let me ask you a question, okay? You laughed at Bionic Commando for wife arm, right?
Sure.
Okay, that was a dumb. You think that was a dumb idea, right?
Well, I mean, for a game that I mean, Bionic Commando takes itself really seriously. It's not really like humorous, and that just seems like such a ridiculous thing. But I mean, granted, I don't think it's as. I mean, a lot of other people were flipping out about that way more than I was. But
because I played Platinum, I played Wonderful 101, and it was like a mother like robot protector, and I was like, what the fuck is this, dude?
When did that game come out?
5 years ago, 2013.
Okay, you might have to refresh my memory on some of this stuff because it was
Yeah,
5 fucking years ago versus today for you. But what did you think of all like the mini games and like the dual screen kind of like
terrible. All of them are terrible.
Well,
I think there was maybe like two. Even the like punch out sequence, they could have done that better. Like it was just no. Here's the thing: when you play Punch Out, you can sometimes throw a punch and land a lucky punch and actually hit the dude.
Yeah.
Like you can't do. I've played other Punch Out type of games like this before, and they always fuck it up like that. They don't let you get any free hits at all. So you literally have to dodge everything to get any hit. Like I think the biggest, most annoying part of this game is like you can't call all your guys back, right? Like I feel like there's always it's like Pikmin, right? It's like a game of Pikmin where like doo-doo, and then boom, some guy knocks all your bad guys away, like one of those sneezy things. All your guys go flying out there, and you're like, you can't dodge, you can't counter, you can't do any other weapons, and you have to like sit in there, run around, and pick everybody back up so you have enough to actually throw a punch. Like that's the biggest like frustration.
It's definitely. I remember being annoyed by that anytime all my guys went flying, but it's definitely the kind of thing where they want that to I mean, that's one of those things of like they want. You know how you said that the gym stuff in Blinx can be really tricky. It's sort of the thing of like they want that stuff to happen because collecting your dudes is part of the loop. You know. It's frustrating. It's like getting knocked down in a game. It's never fun. But you understand.
No, but it's one thing when you get knocked down, and it's another thing too. Like some of the, it's always Platinum games. I have a big problem with Platinum games.
Well, hold on. With the mini games and stuff, I feel like this was the first time that they started. One, they were thinking a little outside the box. I mean, obviously, this was a very early Wii U title, and they had to use that functionality a lot, but. Like even first-party Nintendo games weren't trying that hard with dual screen functionality, and I feel like this game was actually trying to do some creative stuff there, and not all of them were good, but like it. I think this was the most successful.
Or are you talking about dual screen technology games?
Well,
because a lot of the mini games you didn't really need the extra screen.
But I mean, I'm talking about like little one-off things, like. You know, you're using the controls in the ship, but you're looking at the screen by like stepping on buttons or whatever, like during like the flying sequence, or like remember the one where you're like punching the cube, you're punching like colored crystals in the cube to like flip and not fall off the edge and stuff. That was just like a one-off little thing.
No, that's not bad. I remember being really hyped about that stuff when I played Wonderful 101 at E3, because I remember I played the demo probably like 6 or 8 times at E3 that year.
But I feel like this was the most. I mean, obviously with that kind of stuff, like you look at like Punch Out and like the Xevious kind of stuff or whatever, and it's like this is Kami has always put throwbacks to the games that he grew up with that he really loves. But I feel like in the other games he's done it with, like Bayonetta, like that stuff is fucking terrible. It's overly long. Look at Bayonetta 1, like the bike sequence, the missile sequence.
Don't remember. I never played the bike. Never played the missile sequence.
They go on so fucking long, and they're not good. But here they do a lot of creative little one-off things. You know, maybe they do it a couple of times, and that stuff's not that bad. Also, it doesn't punish you as much as it did in some of the Platinum's other games. With
wait, when you say punish, you mean like make you do over again? Because I think that's
I don't
one
remember
of the biggest problems
if it's with
game.
The scoring or if it's with how unforgiving.
Scoring is way more lenient in this game, absolutely.
Yeah, especially with that
more
stuff.
lenient.
I feel like in some other Platinum games, you get punished like for missing like a quick time event, and all of a sudden you're getting a fucking bronze.
Yeah, but who cares
trophy.
about that? That wasn't in my like didn't mean anything to me at all. Occasionally I would get a pure platinum just by like luck or like, you know, a sequence that I did well. Like, because there was a certain type of enemy that I knew how to fight. So I was like, oh, cool, I got a platinum. I wouldn't have gotten a pure platinum in any other game.
Sure.
So definitely I felt that.
But in Bayonetta, like, you would miss a quick time event, and that would cause you to die, and that would be a lost life counting against your score. I feel like they're kind of learning to make that stuff less.
I think one of the worst parts of Wonderful 101 is just infinite continues. It's like completely It's like, oh, we didn't want to make it too hard, so here, let's just give you the here. Okay, so here's the story I was going to tell you. What 9C, which is the last mission, it took me about an hour to play it the first time. So you have to fight the little rotatey thing with the blue balls, right? Then you get knocked down a level, and you have to fight the guy with the 2 hands where he's punching you, and you have to like rip open the dimensional thing and hook him back out, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one, you fight him like you're a bunch of dudes. Oh no, then you have to draw a bigger and bigger hand so you can bust through that electrical wall.
Okay.
You have to bust through a wall, and then after you bust through a wall, he's just standing there, and you have to fly around and punch him, and punch like a little ball on his left arm, then punch a little ball on his right arm, and then on his feet, right? So it took me 59 minutes to get from the very beginning of the game to that fight, and that fight was the last one. I was pretty sure it was the last one, right? And what happened? The game glitched out on me. I jellied right as he was hitting me, and I died. When I reloaded, I was in infinite jelly, and I couldn't get out of the jelly, and I couldn't take damage, and he couldn't hit me, and I couldn't hit him. So I had to reset it, and I had to do the entire stage over again. I was like, please God, reload from last save. Please tell me there was a checkpoint somewhere in all of that. Put me at the very beginning of the level, right as I walked in, and I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to be able to finish it. I started at 11 o'clock this morning. That was probably about 3 in the afternoon. I was like, damn it, I have to be at work at 6. Can't finish this game because I didn't know how much more was left. So people were telling me there was another chapter or something like that, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna be able to finish this.
Did you get many of like the upgrades and stuff for like?
Yes, but again, that's a completely different problem. Okay. The upgrades. But here's the thing: that actually ended up being a blessing in disguise. Because had I just beat the game and finished it right there, I would have had a very, very negative impression of the game, especially the last level. But because I had to replay it again, so I was going in, I was like grumbling, like I don't want to play this, but I knew what to do exactly, and because I knew what to do exactly, I just flew through it, and I felt like, dang, I'm getting this game. I feel like I know what I'm doing. When I fought that claw guy again, like I could dodge all his, dodge all his stuff, and that's what I think is you're missing in this game is that. When you do it, and then he's half dead, and they just reload you with him half life again, you're never forced to like learn anything at all. Yeah. You're just like, oh well, I'm just doing this. I'm chopping him with the sword. He's losing life, so you know what? I guess I just got to keep chopping him, and eventually I'm going to beat it.
I'm going to tell you something that you're really not going to respond well to, but you'll see it.
Before you say it, I already know. Oh, this game doesn't hold your hand, David. It doesn't hold your hand.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Don't say that because there's a difference between there's a difference between holding your hand, not holding your hand, and Wonderful 101.
Shut up and fucking listen to me. Shut up for a second. That wasn't what I was going to say. If anything, I think the Wonderful 101, more than any other Platinum game, does a poor job of explaining how everything works. I think something like a Bayonetta actually does a good job of explaining it.
Well, why do you think I'm not going to respond well to?
No, I haven't said what I was going to say.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm going to say there's a lot of like Platinum game fans
who love this game,
who would look as the first playthrough of a game before you get to like hard mode. As just like tutorial, and it isn't until you start playing on hard mode that you really start mastering the game.
That is literally what a fan was in chat talking to me about yesterday. He's like, "Oh, well, this is basically a 17-hour tutorial, and they want you." And
I'm telling you, when I started up on hard, like it was a different experience for me. When I first started playing, like I would say, like the first third of me playing this game, I was not happy at all.
No, okay, where are we gonna go with this? First third, you were not happy, right?
At all.
And then you had to start the game over, and you really enjoyed
it. And this was even though I had watched those videos before I started.
No, if he wasn't there in chat last night, shout out to Durden, is his name. If he wasn't there at night, there were still things I didn't even know. I was like, hey, which upgrade should I buy? Oh, you should buy this. You should buy that. This is good. This is that. Mm-hmm. He was like kind of just helping me through chat and telling me these things. Because like I swear I was probably halfway through the game. I didn't even know you could draw a unite hand and hit X. And it was, it's like kind of like a Marvel versus Capcom assist, right? Where
but that stuff's in those videos.
It's too much. at one time. You can't start up the game. I don't think they should have started up the game and said, hey, by the way, here's a list of 20 things you can do. Have at it. I don't think they should have done that. But it's too much. You got to understand, there's too much stuff to tell a person, like, you know? Like, and
yeah,
you can't tell everything at the very beginning, and you can't expect somebody to play a game for 17 hours and figure things out on its own. And then, like, I promise you, I never would have figured that stuff out.
You're right. In the game does a really poor job, but I'm telling you, after playing through this game a couple of times, you know, having watched those videos, this is like some of my favorite combat that Platinum's ever done.
But it's terrible for somebody jumping in, because I remember the first time I came in and I didn't know what to buy, and I just bought the wrong thing. And like, there's these stupid little like car things that drive around, and they shoot things at you, and they shoot laser things at you, and they jump on you, and then they dash at you, and like, I remember they have a shield in the front, so I try to run around to hit him from the back, can't hit him, and I'm like, how the fuck do I beat these guys? And if someone didn't tell me, or if I didn't see like a video, I think you sent me these videos a long time ago. If somebody didn't give me those, never would have figured it out, dude.
You know,
it's a very unique game, and it's absolutely it's very fantastic in the things that it tries to do. But
I want to say.
Yeah, say it.
I would. And because of that, it has a lot of flaws, and I would never apologize for Kamiya or for a game like this, but I would never want it the other way because
what's the other way?
Bayonetta 2, which took Bayonetta 1 and streamlined it, sanded off all the edges. No more annoying mini games, no more crazy weird little one-offs, no more of those weird little things that I think makes a game like Bayonetta 1 unique and different from any other. Have you played Bayonetta 2?
No, I haven't. I need to finish Bayonetta 1 before I can finish Bayonetta 2, and I have no interest in playing.
It feels like such an uninspired, sanded down Bayonetta.
Okay.
People love it for that, and I hate it for that.
Okay, so you know what this reminds me of, like Platinum Games and Wonderful 101? It reminds me of when we used to work together on the site. And you remember I used to get super pissed because I'd have some crazy cockamamie idea. Let's spend $500 to do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I have all these crazy ideas. And I was always getting pissed at you because I was like, because you were like, David, we should be responsible. We don't need to blow all our money on this, you know, crazy idea that may or may not pan out, right? And I used to get pissed at you and get super frustrated because I felt like we weren't going anywhere, you know?
Sure.
Right? But
sure.
That's one of the reasons why it worked, because you had the push and the pull. You had let's do something crazy, but it doesn't need to be crazy to the point where we lose everybody in the process.
Sure, you're right, and I feel like
step in and like Platinum Games, do your thing, but let's pull it. Somebody needs to pull them back a little bit. I think that's why you saw all those Capcom games being very successful and good, because you had, you know, Big Mama Capcom, like, kind of, okay, Kamiya, you can go, but we're going to have the reins and we're going to be steering the ship. And I'm sure that was super frustrating for him.
But I feel like Wonderful 101 is him sort of refining his own formula while at the same time doing something weird and crazy. Like, I think...
I don't mind the weird and crazy.
But Bayonetta 2 is... And I hate that a lot of people prefer that game because it doesn't have a lot of the weird, awkward shit that bothers most players. And it bothers me at times too. But I'm telling you, I don't want the boring game. I want the frustrating one.
It's not the awkward shit, though. That's not the problem. It's not. I don't think it's the awkward shit that's the problem. The problem is... Okay, first of all, how did Bayonetta 2 sell?
I don't know.
I assume terribly.
No, I don't think it sold terribly. Well, on the Wii U, I mean, everything sold terribly on the Wii U, but I think it did well on the Switch.
Okay, that's my
critically
question.
It did really well.
Did it sell bad because it sold bad because it was on the Wii U, or is it sold bad because it was Bayonetta? Like, that's the property.
It's a combination of things. I mean, Bayonetta 1 had been their most successful game up until Metal Gear Rising, which had the name, you know?
Right. So, I mean, that's the thing. Somebody told me, like, Platinum Games was in like dire straits until like Nier Automata came around.
Well, because of the Scalebound thing, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, half their studio was working on that, and then all of a sudden, those people weren't getting paid and had no projects. You know, that can kill almost any studio.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that's my question, is because you can't. I know there's those Platinum Games people who love the way the Platinum Games makes the game, and we don't want them to change. And this is, but like those people are far and few, right? It's not enough to sustain their like.
Well, I mean, let's talk about it. Like, you understand, I'm not like most Platinum Games fans.
No, sure.
Most Platinum Games fans, they love Metal Gear Rising. I don't. You know, they love Nier Automata. Granted, Nier Automata, so that's an example of a game that where they streamlined that combat so much it became boring and nobody cared about it. And you can even
in Nier Automata.
You can even ask hardcore Nier Automata
really?
fans. They love it for the story. They don't love it for the combat.
Okay.
The combat's kind of lame. In fact,
right.
I prefer Nier 1 because
it's super frustrating because it's not like one or the other. It's not like, hey, all the way crazy here, all the way not crazy here. Like there's a middle ground, and they just gotta, they gotta find the middle ground. They've got to find or not even a middle ground. Here's the thing: you can do the craziness. You just have to find a way to, like, ramp it up to where people can like understand. Like the normal layman can understand, because that's my problem. Because I play normal, and every Platinum Games game. Okay, so when I asked the guy, okay, so what is the difference when you go from easy to normal to hard? How do they increase difficulty, right?
In general.
Yeah, well, in Wonderful 101 specifically.
In the Wonderful 101, I believe it's like Bayonetta. Yeah, no, because I played this. It's where they introduce like harder enemies sooner,
earlier,
different combinations.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Yes, and that you do more damage or something like that, right?
Yeah, probably.
But you keep all your like items. And
yes,
stuff.
it's like a new game plus.
Right.
If you choose, I think you could still do hard mode from scratch.
But that's the thing. I think that's the wrong way for them to increase the difficulty early on. Right? It's not that you don't give them hard enemies, or you don't put certain situations. It's that you. Okay, so like for instance, I always have a problem with Platinum Games and reaction time. I'm going to go calculate this. I'm going to go look back at my footage, and I'm going to calculate the reaction time it gives you. The normal reaction time for a person, which is like I think 0.25 seconds, and how much time they give you in this game. Or like in Wonderful 101 specifically, I can look at all the other ones. I'm going to analyze all this stuff. I'll give you my report on it, because I think the reaction time they give you between like visual stimulus and when you have to react by, I think that time is too short.
This game can be really chaotic, and you really got to be paying attention. But I mean, they are giving you cues. This game.
I feel like it's all their games. Like, why not like have it be like half a second for normal, easy 1 second, and just ramp people up that way.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like that's a good idea to do it, but like in harder difficulty modes in like Bayonetta, they'll take away witch time, which means your reactions have to be even more on point. It's like fighting those claw guys.
For hard people, that's fine. That's no problem whatsoever. Again, if I were interested in hard, that's fine. I would know I'm getting into this. I'm replaying this again. I'm getting into the hard mode, so now stuff is going to be hard, right? Or I'm expecting it because I want the challenge. Because I feel like, again, why did they give you unlimited continues in this game? I still don't understand. Because they just want people to beat it, right?
I feel like they've been doing that like for a long time now.
Unlimited continues is not. It's not the fact that it's unlimited continues. It's unlimited continues, and you start off with like, if you had a boss at half life, he said half life again. You just start off with half life. You just have to do the rest of the damage, which just completely makes the point. Like there was no. It's going to sound very weird that I say this, but I want to say like there was no challenge in this game whatsoever. Because I knew all I had to do was it's like an arcade game where you just keep pumping in quarters, and eventually you're just going to beat the boss.
I do think maybe this wanted to be a little friendlier in that grand respect, but I'm telling you, what was so satisfying for me was, you can like really wail on things, and it could take a while to like kill a room full of dudes. But when you know what you're doing and you get good at it, and you can take out an entire room so quick, that is very satisfying. And you can't just mash and do that. You have to really know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
Well, really? I mean, just for like combining, you know, abilities like your time bomb and making sure you're on the right, you know, weapon.
No, but see, that's
the most knowing how to mitigate like different types of attacks through absorption and stuff like that.
Right. So that's the most interesting part of this game, is that the whole Marvel vs. Capcom assist, like, call in the sword, and the sword's like sha sha sha, and then
and
you
like,
have the whip
with juggles and stuff too. It's so cool.
No, I mean, and I never got to the point of the juggling stuff at all. But I'm saying, like, first of all, let me ask you a question.
Really?
Is not juggling where I was like actually throwing people in the air. I was just like, okay, let me send 3 different things at this guy at one time. Let's have him punch,
what I would do is I'd knock a dude
whip
up, and then you start doing the assist to like keep him up in the air, and then lift him higher, and then I would turn into a tombstone and then a rocket ship, and it was just
no. I mean, I'm sure that stuff is great, but is it fair to expect a person to play a 15-hour tutorial before they actually get to the real game?
No, it's real game. I mean, real game to like those quote unquote real platinum players.
No, but it's not even real platinum.
I mean, I think you can play this once and still like enjoy the story and you know the mechanics, you know, of controlling, like feeling like you're controlling a mob of people.
I would agree with you if it was forced. Like, for instance, there's like a crab, right? You ever fought the crab boss, right? Or not boss, like he's a mega enemy or something, right?
Yeah.
There's a crab, he's walking around, and you can just sit there and punch him in the face and whatever. But the better way is to actually slice off his legs with a sword, and then he falls down, he lost his legs, and then you can jump on his head, you can use the hooks to open his head up and then beat up on his like soft meat underhead thing. Right? Like, why is that not just the way to beat him? Like, why is he not a boss and that's the way to beat him, and then you beat him the first time, and then later on, like, okay, we just give you more of these guys to fight. It's not required to beat him that way. You know, it's the same thing as like there was this tank that where like he was a tank and you stun him and then you climb up his back and then like slash some little weak spot on the top of the head. Like literally, I stood across the screen and just shot him with a gun. And
I know, but like you dispatch him so much quicker if you figure out kind of the puzzle.
Sure, but it's also like, again, this has to do a lot with, again, reaction time and dodging, and because okay, so one more thing is like, I feel like I don't like this paper rock scissors, like one thing or another. So if, for instance, like they have, if somebody punches you, you can counter it, right? But then if someone slashes a sword, you can't, so you have to dodge. And I don't like that, because there'll be times when like this guy pulls out a gun, he's like, I'm gonna shoot you with a, and then like you just basically have to like within a split second decide, is he shooting you with a cannonball or is he shooting with a spike ball? And you make the decision one way or another. You pick the wrong way, bam, you get hit, you lose all your guys, they all fly everywhere, and you take the damage. You know, it's one or the other. It's just, I can't stand it. Absolutely can't stand it, man. It's just this, because it's this constant like, well, if there was a safe option, like, oh, I don't know what it is, so let me just block and turtle up, and that, you know, I don't get my damage, I don't get to hit him, but at least I don't get smacked in the face and lose life. Again, lose life is not a big deal, but, you know, get smacked and then have to wait for all my characters to get up and all that other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like, it's just little stuff like that, man.
You know, I think one of the reasons I thought maybe you would, obviously you're not, I guess, the quote unquote platinum fan, obviously, and I thought you could just play through this once and enjoy it, is because the people I've recommended it to who ended up really liking it are like Crispy, who I recommended it to. I really wasn't sure if he'd like it, and I don't think he's ever played a Platinum Games game, and it's just not the types of games he plays. I would like this, but he likes comics and he likes like robot anime and stuff.
I would like to see how he fought people. Like, I really would. I would love to see the development process as people play this game without anybody telling them, like, just how they figure stuff out, if they figure the stuff out, or if they just give up.
Well,
Because
I think you really like the story.
well, I mean, again, that's fine, but I'm saying like, okay, so no matter how much he likes the story, but if he's at the end of the game and he's just slashing people with a sword and not like doing all this other stuff, like buying the wrong items, like I don't know how he can enjoy it then.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I played it differently than that because I have this history with all these platinum games and
again, but that's
Clover
not
games and Kamiya games.
I'm looking out for the. It's not that I'm looking out for. It's just I'm trying to consider this. So ultimately, there's one question, right? The question is, should this go to the Switch, right? Because there's people talking like, oh, Kamiya wants it to come to the Switch.
I don't think you can do it.
Because of physical limitations, you're saying.
I mean, it has a lot of dual screen stuff, you know, and that stuff is part of the game, you know.
I don't think it's that necessary. I think you can find a way to get
through like a picture-in-picture split screen. What do you mean?
Well, it's got the picture-in-picture option already, but yeah, you could do. There's some parts where well, there's a couple parts, but I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, it won't be able to come out Switch just as is. You definitely need to do something with it.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing, okay? Like, people are gonna play it on the Switch, and like, you need people to come out of this with like a great, like, really, really great experience, because people are gonna. It's not the point of people gonna buy it. You want people to buy it and be like, dude, I would be excited about whatever game they release next. From and then the next game on the box, it's gonna say from the makers of Wonderful 101. You know, that's what you need for this studio to do well. And I don't think 101 is like a great experience for just a random person to go into the store, pick up, and play.
I mean, but it has been for some people who are more casual, non-platinum fans. From what I've seen, you know, fucking.
This is people that you've recommended it to.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think I don't know. I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, someone who loves Call of Duty or whatever is not going to pick this up and enjoy it, and I wouldn't recommend it to those people.
I'm not expecting it to be a Call of Duty or anything, but
I mean, this was a divisive game. This was a, you know, lower scoring platinum games for sure. One
how low was it?
Wasn't just I don't know, like high 70s probably.
That's pretty high, dude, for me. I consider that pretty high.
But it's low for a platinum game that wasn't, you know, like an Activision budget title, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: despite how you feel about the game,
I don't hate it, by the way. I don't like hate it. If I hadn't replayed that last level again, I might have. But yeah.
Don't you think that the character of the Wonderful 101 still deserves to be in Smash Brothers? That would be a cool fucking character. Or, you know, you could do Wonder Red, but I think the cooler character is the Wonderful 101 as a playable fighter.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to make a video. Hopefully I will make this video of things I would have changed. Like, why does it need to be 101? Why does it have to be 100 little dudes? Like, what if it was just a team of like 5 or 6 guys? You could just switch between them on the fly.
I don't know. That's just what was in Kamiya's head, I guess.
No, I mean, but part of it has to do with, you know, hey, how are we going to implement the Wii U gamepad? Because we need to do something creative with this thing. You know, I'm sure Nintendo wanted them to have some sort of functionality with it. But like, do you think the drawing mechanics are good? Because I don't.
Well, you use the stick, right?
No, for the stick, yeah, not the. Yeah.
I don't think anyone uses the touchscreen. I don't even know how that works.
No, but I'm saying, like, do you think they're actually good? Because I don't think so. I think there was a
it's a cool idea. You know,
it's a great, cool, very inventive. We will never see another thing like this again.
Yeah.
Idea, yes, absolutely great in that regards. But as far as practical implementation, I mean,
I think it worked. I mean, I watched a video or someone told me like treat it like a Street Fighter special move motion.
No, sure. You have to get to the point
and treat it like that, and not as like drawing, except when you're like, you know, grabbing people or whatever. And once I started thinking about it that way, I stopped having problems with it.
No, but I still had problems because the thing draws weird. It goes up walls sometimes when you don't want it
Yeah,
to go
no,
up.
for sure. I mean,
Or
it is this weird, awkward thing for sure.
you'll be drawing stuff and you'll hit like a
But I mean,
spike ball and all your guys will
this
fly
is
out.
what I this is this is like a perfect reason why I hate the idea of the fact that Scalebound got canceled, because I mean, obviously I could see Phil Spencer or Microsoft execs looking at that, whatever state it was in at the time, and going, this is not going to work for us. But like it, the the reason that they were like, I don't know about this, is the reason I wanted to play it, probably because it wasn't what they wanted. You know, it wasn't what they were expecting. And it's the same. You know, Kamiya always does a new thing, right? When he moves on to his next project,
Right.
and I don't think I'd have it any other way. As much as I love some of the games that he's made, like, I think he's best at doing like weird, crazy shit, even if sometimes it's unsuccessful.
Okay, so how do you feel about Suda 51?
Well,
That's,
I mean,
when you say that, that's
similar
literally Suda 51.
But I think Platinum and Kamiya makes better playing games.
Maybe,
than Suda.
yes, but listen to what you just said. You said, I want him to do his crazy weird shit, and I don't want it any other way because that's the way it is. So I want you to go and play through all the Suda 51 games. Play them all.
But I have.
Okay, and is it great? Is it not great? There's problems with it, right? There's stuff that's
right,
really
but you know what my
stupid.
favorite game of his is? It's Killer 7, because
Killer
that's
7.
like the
No,
weirdest,
but
strangest fucking
I
thing.
know,
Like,
but again,
in terms of
would you ever
as well.
go back and play No More Heroes again?
I played over the second one. I hated the second one.
I hated the second one too. Absolutely hated. Could not get past anything. And like, have zero desire to go back and play the first one, just because I remember how hard and difficult and kind of like frustrating it was. You get through it the first time because you kind of want to get through it, and then like I have no desire to go pick that back up again and just like stab myself in the face.
I don't know how much Suda's involvement was with Let It Die. I know it was originally called something else.
Right.
Lily.
Right.
Whatever.
Go play Diabolical Pitch.
I fucking love Let It Die. That was my #2 game of that year.
Oh, I thought you could say Diabolical
and
Pitch.
that's such a weird. I remember Diabolical. It was a Connect. What the fuck was that?
It was a Connect game. It
Really?
was a Connect game where you throw baseballs at
Can
like
you
zombies
still
or
get
something.
that?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. Why?
Well, because I just got a Connect. You saw what I bought today, right?
God.
Did you see what I bought today?
No. What'd you buy?
For $15 after tax.
What? Wait, let me ask you a question. How much longer are we gonna go for?
I don't know.
Are you okay? Are we gonna go? You're still to go. I hate to cut it here, but I gotta use the bathroom really bad.
I just gotta talk about RPGs.
Okay. 1 second.
I got 9
Sorry.
Connect games.
My bad. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
What were we talking about?
You said RPGs. So are we getting to that now, or what?
You were gonna ask me about Octopath and Ni no Kuni 2.
Oh, that's right. Octopath and Ni no Kuni. Why you a hater, Brad? Why you hate on games now?
I don't hate on games. Come on. We just don't like the same games. Look, we just talked about the
I'm
Wonderful
not even
101.
saying I like those games or dislike.
No, I know you don't. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
Who?
oh man,
You're saying Radiant Historia?
Octopath Traveler. You know
So
what?
what's so bad about this? Because I only played the demo. I played the demo when it was first released. I did not pick it up this week or last week because I have way too many games, and because from playing the demo, I was like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played the prologue demo that had a 3-hour time limit, but it was basically just the beginning of the game, and you can carry
Played
your
as a
save
little
over.
character, the dancer.
No. The one that came out like a month ago.
Right.
It
It would
was
actually
just-
save your.
Yeah, it was just the start of the game. That was the final build.
Okay.
That's what I played. I played 3 hours of it, which was the time limit.
Right, and there's 8 different guys, right? So you 8 different stories.
I mean, do you know enough about this game for me to rant?
No, maybe, but go ahead.
Uh,
What are you spoiling the story or something?
no, I'm not playing it. I not only didn't buy it, I removed it from my GameFly queue after playing that demo.
Okay, I mean, so yeah, so what's the problem? Is like you're fighting dudes, right?
Well, I think it's kind of mediocre and boring. But
Okay,
I,
but
I think I think my rant is more about the
people like it, and you want
it's not even that they like it. I mean, people knew they were gonna like it before it ever even
Oh,
came
sure,
out.
of course.
You
But
know,
that's
it
not
was
new.
like I literally saw, well, you know, Switch isn't having a great year, but we have Octopath Traveler or whatever, and it's like, dude, you haven't even fucking gotten it yet,
Sure.
but you already think it's what's gonna save the Switch this year, and it's like a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy there. Of course they like it because they have to fucking like it.
Sure.
And it is it's not just kind of boring and mediocre for me, but it is like budget and
Budget?
yeah, it's like low budget, like weak ass presentation. It has amazing visuals. And I think that on its surface, people can look at it and say this is a really attractive game.
Right.
But the presentation, like saying that it's like the classics from the 90s is insulting to those games. Like, it's fucking insulting. Not just that, but
Because
it's
of writing.
insulting to, like, the people are throwing like Bravely Default under the bus almost in the praise of this game, which is what, you know, the leads of this worked on Bravely Default before this, right?
Sure, yeah.
But Bravely Default, even though it was a 3DS game with a probably it was a 3DS game, like, shit's all over this game in terms of like presentation and writing and voice acting and just like liveliness. This
Sure.
thing is like lifeless, and the writing and the voice acting is stilted. It is basic, and it is not just the presentation of like walk into a town, talk to the thing that triggers the story, fade black to black, watch your little, you know, basic ass dialogue, and then fade out and walk out of town, go to your dungeon, which I've heard is every fucking chapter in this game.
Right.
But like the entire structure of the world, the dungeons, it is the most basic RPG Maker generic structure that I've ever seen, or that I've seen in an RPG in a long time. This game should not be compared to the SNES RPGs of old. This is a fucking like an NES caliber in terms of its design. But people aren't seeing that because the visuals are very pretty and it's a big hyped game and it's a Switch exclusive, and this needed to be good. But like,
who's they, dude? Who's they? Are they out to get you?
Fucking
they're out to get you,
it's
Brad?
not even about me. It's that like people are building up this JRPG as
Who's
if
people? Who's people though?
the people who are, you know,
Brad is a Nick?
no, it's not
Crispy?
about. This is definitely not
Nolan?
about Nick or anybody
No,
that
but
I
I'm
know
saying
personally
who,
who's playing this
who
game.
has said this to you? Anybody within
No,
your closer?
It's the stuff
circle.
I'm reading on, you know, community, you know, like Reset Era and stuff, right? You know, places
Or not
where,
not your community, but you're talking about communities in general.
well, I don't know. Maybe there's people in our community that's playing it too. But listen to what I'm saying.
I'm trying to understand,
People
because
are talking about this game as if these other JRPGs surrounding it don't fucking exist and aren't much better in a lot of ways.
But that's nothing new, though. That's nothing new. That's always been a situation. The bigger
You're right.
AAA titles with the visuals and the
but
budget,
this isn't
and
fucking AAA, and it's insulting that
it's
this is even
it's AAA from the
$60.
sense that, you know, it's Bravely Default Studio put on the Switch with, you know,
But Bravely Default was $20 cheaper and looked way more expensive in terms of production value.
I know, but who had the 3DS to pick it up?
Well, I mean, people did.
And also,
people bought Bravely Default, but there's like this weird revisionist history, as if like this is the more impressive thing.
But you understand too, because of it's a portable game, you get the feeling that it's not as big, right? I mean, that's just
well,
like,
I mean,
part of the.
But again, it's revisionist history. You turn that thing on, and you're like, wow, like these characters have emotion. Like, the writing is good. This world is like beautifully constructed and stuff. This Octopath Traveler is not that. This game's developed by Acquire, and people are building up this Acquire game like it is JRPG savior.
Okay, I've
seen this happen
You
before.
played 3 hours of this game.
Yes, and I've read a lot and heard a lot about
Okay,
it.
no, I'm not trying to discount. I'm just trying to get the point of reference. So you played 3 hours with one character. So
No,
the
3
game has 8
characters.
different characters, right?
I end up getting 3 characters. Yeah, you get 8 characters. You
Well,
pretty
no,
much have
I'm
to.
saying. So from the way when I played the demo, it felt like I could pick one person or another person, and they would go 2 different stories or something like that. Or are there all their stories like intermingling, meshing?
They don't. So one of the reasons I think this is such a horrible basic thing, it is because it's 8 different stories that
Okay.
once you trigger their story, it becomes all about that one character, and the other characters
Right.
are not even a part of that story.
No, okay. So that seems like there's a lot of game then, right?
But that's not just the beginning. That's the entire game. The only interaction that your party members have are these occasional moments where 2 characters will have like a I've heard it compared to like a Fire Emblem support conversation, which is not very deep, and it's not really related to like the overall story, because from what I understand there really isn't much of an overall story till the very, very, very end of this game.
But you're telling me that the 8 characters don't meet each other, or if they do meet each other, it's just in
They
passing.
meet each other because they're fighting together in combat, but outside of combat it's like they barely know each other. It's like they don't even interact with each other.
Okay, so is there a reason to play all 8 different stories?
You
The
have
game
to.
through 8 times.
You have to, because
Okay.
what happens is you get one character, right, and you do her main story quest, right, and it's level 5 story, right, and then all of a sudden, and you look at the world map, and everybody's chapter 1 is level 5, but as soon as you beat that level, that first character's story mission, they all say level 7 now. And if you go get your second character and finish her story mission, they all say like level 11,
14 or
right?
I gotcha.
But that first character you beat, her
It's still
chapter
at-
2 mission shows up on the map. You walk to it, but it says level 22. So you can't go to her chapter 2 and continue the story because you are dramatically underleveled. It expects you to pick up all of the characters, or like mostly all of the characters, to even get to the point where you can start doing chapter 2 chapters. If you only wanted to do the stories of a few characters, you would spend a crazy amount of time just grinding in the boring
So in other
world.
words, okay, so I see. They're forcing you to experience the whole thing. You can't just pick one person's thing and go all the way through.
Correct.
Well, that's
Like what I love about JRPGs, or like even party-based like BioWare RPGs, are you're building up this cast of characters, and it's watching them interact with each other, you know, and hearing their multiple viewpoints on like the main story, and them talking about it to each other. Like that's everything in an RPG with multiple characters, and this game has none of that. That's insane to me. But the battle system's cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll give it a try.
But
I'll give it a try.
But
Just playing devil's advocate. You're okay with the 17-hour tutorial, but you're not okay with Octopath Traveler making you play all the parts.
no, I'm fine with Octopath Traveler making you play all the parts. I'm saying none of that stuff is good though.
I mean, I'd have to judge for myself. I would take your impression under advisement, but until I see it,
I got really bored with
I'm
what
sure.
I played of the demo in terms of story and presentation. I wanted to
I'm
start
sure you did,
skipping
but-
dialogue really
but,
bad.
No, sure. I could understand that. But for somebody who hasn't played all the JRPGs, if they
See,
haven't
I
played
don't
the
think it's I don't
Gurren
think it's about
Lagann of
that.
JRPGs, then maybe
No,
it might be perfect for
I
somebody
really
like
don't
me.
think it's about that. I think whether you've played Final Fantasy VI or not, this is still kind of boring, you know, because at the time in the 90s, mid 90s, early 90s,
Again,
JRPGs were
I didn't play that many
were-
JRPGs compared to you, though.
No. They were exciting because other games didn't care about story, and JRPGs did. So that's why you played RPGs, right?
Okay.
Right? But these days, like currently, every fucking game out there has some story, you know, putting in effort. So to see a JRPG, like even compared to like a fucking shooter, Octopath Traveler has a really piss poor presentation.
I don't know, man, because I
piss-poor
played the
writing.
demo, and there was this girl, and she was like some prostitute whorehouse, and she was
Everyone
getting
says
oppressed.
she's the best story in the game.
Yeah, and yeah, so when I played it, I was like, okay, cool. She's gonna escape this life of, you know, subjugation. She loses her best friend or something in trying to escape, and They reminded me of a very like Kefka bad guy and like laughing at the desert when he murdered your friend.
Except they don't laugh because the sprites don't animate in cool ways like Kefka did.
Do they not? I can't remember. I just remember playing I remember playing the demo and be like, okay, this is pretty cool. I probably will. I'm not going to play any more of it now because I want to play it when it eventually comes out.
I didn't mean to this game, but like I hate how you see JRPGs coming out that no one. It's like they don't even exist to people.
Okay, but that's something different though, right?
But people are talking about this like this is like the great JRPG that's come along in a long time, and that makes me insane.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's their discussion that makes you insane. I think you're insane, and that's what makes you insane.
What?
I think you're just crazy, man.
But you understand, it's not just my podcast.
Oh, I understand.
It's social media, it's our Discord, it's whatever. But and this isn't everybody because some people are real receptive, right? I can sit there and like tell them that like, hey, this game's really cool. And like just eyes glaze over, like I don't care. I just want to play Octopath. And it's like, why do you even like this fucking game?
So give me 5 games that you would recommend over Octopath Traveler right now.
But I kind of want to get to Ni no Kuni too as well.
Okay.
Which
so you want to do the 5 that you would play over Octopath Traveler / Ni no Kuni?
Wait, are you talking about like of all time ever?
No. I'm saying give me 5 games that you could recommend now. You'd say, hey, just go play these right now. Like Radiant Historia, is that what game? I saw you post the scores for both. So you played that game?
Yeah, I mean, I would for sure recommend that over what I've played of Octopath Traveler.
How about Alliance Alive? Is that good?
I didn't play much of that, but
how about Stella Glow?
I like Stella Glow. Yeah, I put that on my top 10. But that's a strategy RPG.
Okay, but I mean, so I'm just trying to figure out 5 things that would just be you'd play over Octopath Traveler that you could just go into a store and pick up right now, and nothing like Chrono Cross or Final Fantasy VI. So play Chrono Trigger. Just give me 5 that like.
But why? You can get those. You can get Suikoden 2 for $6 off PSN or $9.99.
I know, but Suikoden is Suikoden. Oh, by the way, oh shit. Damn it! I was gonna grab that physical copy of Suikoden so I could flash it on the screen, but
don't be a dick.
When are we gonna talk about this? By the way, after Ni no Kuni?
I wanted to talk about Ni no Kuni 2 because I feel like that's another example of a game that has a really beautiful visual style. You'd agree to that, right? Like just visually, like the graphics.
I haven't seen any of 2, to be honest. I remember I popped in 1, played a little bit of 1.
It's kind of like 1 visually.
Yeah. Just like a Studio Ghibli like movie anime.
Yeah. It's a very beautiful game,
right?
That on its surface, but when you get into it, it's like
shallow.
It's not just shallow. Like the presentation is very budget. People are just standing around. There is very little voice acting, even in like story scenes.
Well, here, let me ask you a question.
It just feels boring and
lifeless.
Lifeless.
Is this not how the indie games industry works now too? Like every game has to have some sort of like hip visual style to it, or else nobody will give it the time of day.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think there's more to a visual. There's more to presentation than just a really cool graphical style, and I feel like Ni no Kuni and Octopath Traveler is proof of when it's done wrong or it doesn't go far enough. Like the graphics of those 2 games do not add the life that you would assume by seeing how competent the art is in those games. Like you watch a trailer for Ni no Kuni 2 and it looks incredible because they picked the few cutscenes that are voice acted. They never show them just standing around with you reading text boxes, and it looks incredible. But you know what? I feel like when Ni no Kuni 2 came out, like people kind of got the word that, hey, it's a little boring. And it was doing some cool stuff with like the castle building, but like no one is kind of talking about Ni no Kuni 2 fondly anymore, and a lot of people didn't finish. And I think some of it has to do with the fact that people kind of saw it for what it was, right? And that is ultimately kind of lifeless. But that's not happening with Octopath Traveler, and I think it's because this one was way more hyped. It has a lot of baggage. What big Nintendo games came out this year?
What do you mean?
Like first
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Okay, that doesn't fucking count.
Featuring
That
Cranky
doesn't
Kong.
count. I can't believe
Cranky
that's $60, by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
How can
whatever.
we-
You're
how
not
can we-
buying it, so who cares?
No, but it's not about that. It's about how can we ever expect to get a HD Prime trilogy for $60 when that requires actual work, turning that into HD and putting those three games on a cart with multiple control schemes, when all they did was more or less port a Wii U game and they charged $60 for it.
They added the Surfer Kong dude. Man. There's got to be some
It should have
work
been
that was involved. They probably had to
$30.
rebalance.
But it sets
They had
a
to go back
precedent
through every
for how
single level
Nintendo
and
is gonna
rebalance all that
charge for
shit.
their games going forward. And it's like if they ever did Prime HD, you know they would separate those. They would charge $60 for each fucking one,
Okay, so
and I'd fucking buy them. Sure.
so why did they change the price, man?
But I'm saying they set the precedent, and like people, were still filleting that decision, and it's like, are you kidding me?
It was a smart business decision. It looks like they made the correct decision.
Hey, I'm never gonna say it was not a smart business decision, but
How much
don't
would you
fillate
pay
smart business decisions?
How much would you pay for Wonderful 1 on Switch? Wonderful 101 on Switch. Like they just released it.
Me personally,
Yes, that's what I'm asking. You, how much would you pay?
I mean, I'd probably pay $40.
$39.99. Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable thing. But if it's $59.99, you're telling me you're not going to pick it up?
But I think most people probably shouldn't pay more than 30 or whatever. I mean, it's probably best played on the Wii U just because of its unique functionality. And
right.
I mean, I've played it before, and I have it. I love Bayonetta 1 and 2, but I didn't. Well, I don't love to. I like to. I didn't pick them up on Switch because I'm like, I have these games. I played these games. They're the same fucking games.
So it comes out at $40. You pick it up. Do you pick it up day one at $40?
Sure, but
you would pay $40 for 101.
I mean, now that you say it, it wouldn't probably be day one. I'd probably get it down the line on a deal.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. So what was if it was $20 day one, you would pick it up?
Yeah, I mean, I really like that game, so I'd fuck around with it for sure.
For $20.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it's not gonna be $20. By the way, it's gonna be $39.
I mean, it's a Wii U port. They'd have to put some work into it to get it working on the Switch, I guess. But
Yeah.
But it's so weird. Like, why have the Galaxy games not been put on Switch? They know those they'd sell like crazy, right?
Yeah, but it has to do a lot with their online service is not out yet, right? I'm sure.
I know, but it's just like they're doing the easy Wii U stuff because it's already in HD and they just have to upscale it a little bit.
Yes.
And they're charging $60 for it, but they have these games stuck in standard def, like the Metroid Prime games, like Mario Galaxy. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, these are the ones that actually need it.
They're coming, but well, I don't know if they're coming or not. But I mean, it's just
say they're
Nintendo.
Coming, but like one of the reasons I was really bummed at E3 wasn't just that we didn't see Metroid Prime 4, but it was because I was like, this is the perfect time to announce a Metroid Prime HD trilogy if they're going to do it.
Right.
And they didn't, because it's like, hey, we're not ready to talk about Metroid Prime 4, but we can at least do this for you.
Yeah, but Prime 4 is not coming out for another year and a half at least.
I know, but we're going to see it next year. You'd agree to that, right?
Right, but they show...
if we can't see it this year, this would have been the time to announce Metroid Prime trilogy.
No, because they're going to pull a Shenmue. Look at Shenmue 1 and 2 are coming out next month. When is Shenmue 3 going to come out? When was Shenmue 3 announced? When was the Kickstarter funded? Like, remember when the Kickstarter was funded? They're like, oh, Shenmue 3 is going to be out in a year. It's going to be end of 2018. Can we
talk about the Switch and the fact that I think maybe one of the problems that they're struggling with is that the Switch doesn't have the traditional, like, the IR sensor. It's all gyro aiming. And I think maybe they're running into some issues with that.
For what?
I don't think you couldn't do the Prime Trilogy's control scheme on the Switch properly.
You mean as far as aiming at the TV?
Yeah. Like, every reviews I've read for the aiming of that stuff has been not great because it's gyro aiming.
Uh-huh.
It's not, they don't have the what's it called, the infrared, the bar, you know. Do you think that could be what's holding up some of the Wii stuff from getting ported?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds plausible. I mean,
but I don't even want to use those controls for Metroid Prime. I want them to try I want them to try like doing a dual analog setup or something.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like that you want the regular lock on from Prime 1.
That was fucked too. I'd still probably prefer that over the Wii aiming.
Yeah.
Just because it's less awkward to like physically but
I don't think you should freak out about them not having HD collection until Prime 4 has a release date. If Prime 4 has a release date and they haven't said anything about an HD collection, I think then you can freak out and say.
I mean, I was still kind of sad. I mean, it's like Smash didn't blow my skirt up because it seems like a port, but you know, you can't say that or people will beat you up because
why?
It's supposedly
it is a port. It's straight up. It's going to be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Don't say that. You're gonna.
It's going to be no. I mean, that's what
people are going
to
send out their hit squad on you.
That's how Switch works right now, right?
It's a new game. They changed the face of the Wii Fit trainer.
Not the face of the Wii Fit trainer, right?
I can't believe they did that. They changed the.
That's not what they did. They upgraded Link. They have Breath of the Wild Link now, right? That was the big change.
So
but there's nothing wrong. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with it's not like a port. It's just like it's like Smash Brothers Deluxe, right? Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We're gonna take all the stuff we had in Mario Kart 8.
No, that is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong?
No.
That's like because Wii U was such a dismal failure that like there are a bunch of games that didn't sell, didn't even have an opportunity to sell. Because there just wasn't enough install base.
That's not even how I'm coming at this. It's more that people are not saying that. People are saying this is not a port because they're saying it's not a port.
Well, it's not a port in the sense that they're adding all these characters that weren't in the original game. But again, that's like the
what's
deluxe
so exciting about a new Smash Brothers is
the
like
new
this
characters,
big ass new roster.
Yes,
and it's the fact that all those people get amiibos.
It's the Kingdom Hearts. Who you never know who you're gonna run into next. I remember. Do you remember when Smash Brawl came out for Switch? And remember Shane imported that early.
Yeah.
And then we went over to his house to see the Japanese versions because he was playing it like months beforehand. And remember there was a time where everyone was playing it, and then all of a sudden they unlocked Sonic, and everyone freaked out, and everyone just went. I mean, that's the coolest.
I don't think that magic is here with this one. I don't think from the sounds of it.
Yeah, but that's not the point. That's not. I don't think that's the point of it.
I want an Andy amiibo. I want a Wonder Red amiibo.
And you're never gonna get those.
Fuck, man.
You're not.
How is there I've assumed that there would have had to have been some cool Japan only merchandise for Advance Wars because Japan has cool shit and there's nothing.
I don't know if you know this, but it's not called Advance Wars in Japan, right?
I know. But I'm saying.
So are you sure? Yeah, have you been searching Famicom Wars?
No, it's been around since the Famicom, right? And it's been on the Game Boy, it's been on the Super Nintendo, it's been on fucking everything. I don't think it was on the 64. But like it got really popular, obviously, with Advance Wars. That's when it started to have these characters and this personality and have a story. I mean, before that, it really wasn't much. There wasn't much story at all, and it was more of just like a simulator or whatever. But the point is, you know, everything has merchandise in Japan. It's the land of amazing toys. There's nothing for Advance Wars. This is a historical franchise for Nintendo going all the way back to the Famicom. You know, how have they not had a character in Smash? There's so many Fire Emblem characters. I mean, obviously that's never going to happen if it didn't happen, you know, in the last game, to be honest, right? It would have been out for Smash 4.
We'll see, man. 5 years from now, maybe when they run out of stuff, they'll just bring it up. Like maybe is there an Onimusha coming out sometime soon?
That'd be nice.
Or an Onimusha HD collection?
Resident Evil 4 eventually became really successful. Not initially, but it eventually became very successful. And obviously it's this critical darling, right. and it had a lot of influence on other games in the industry, Western games. And, you know, we got a lot because Resident Evil 4 was so dope.
Right.
how was Capcom at the time not being like, hey, let's do this with Dino Crisis, you know, let's do this with Onimusha. Let's just, I don't understand how those franchises can be dormant, you know, because it kills me.
Well, it's further and further now, right? Like 5 years, 10 years ago, it probably would have been great, but
I mean, what would it even be now, right? I mean, we're beyond the time of Resident Evil even being cool at 4 and 5 or whatever, and now it's like this other completely different thing, and you know, revisionist history from Resident Evil fans. Let's not get back into Resident Evil, but hey. So yeah, what were we talking about? I kind of ranted about Octopath Traveler. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I mean, people spent, it's $60. It's a lot of money. People don't want to hear that someone thinks their game sucks, you know. But
yeah, but I mean, I think people can still like it and you can still hate it. Those two things aren't exclusive.
No. And when people are saying they're liking it, it's not like I don't believe them. I absolutely believe them. You know, like I said, I think the combat system's fun.
Doing so.
But you know, I'm seeing it on threads of like, you know, there's a thread on Reset Era of people like, it just so happens to be the time where they're working on, you know, let's figure out our 100 favorite JRPGs, and people are nominating Octopath Traveler, probably haven't even finished the fucking game.
That's all they know. You know how many movies have gotten like great reviews recently, you know, in the last 3, 4, 5 years? People are like, that's such a great movie, and I watch it, I'm like, what the fuck movie was that, dude?
Sure. But whatever. Yeah, we're getting do that old, with Persona fucking 5, you know? Like how can people, last year everyone picked up Persona 5, $60 game, right? But like those games are like dripping with style and substance, or you know, it's a lot of work goes into those games, and of course everyone's going to pick it up. Of course it's $60, right? But to put this in the same category as that, which you kind of have to, right? It's a JRPG that people are speaking highly of, that costs $60, you know, that is selling like crazy, and it's like
you're getting me excited about it. Oh, by the way, right here, I picked up, what's it called, dude? Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah,
I picked that up the other day. It was like
I tried $22. Several times, and I still have a copy out from GameFly. And
you're talking me into Octopath, to be honest. I want to know what all the hype is about. I want to know all the hype or the anti-hype. I want to know whether or not Brad's crazy or all these other people are crazy.
Well, maybe you'll find it something in between. Like, you understand, I have a chip on my shoulder about JRPGs ever since back then, because, you know, I was a big Squaresoft, you know, fanboy, like anybody was, like they should have been in the 90s, right? Because they were amazing in the 90s, right? But I was playing all these other JRPGs as well, right? You know, non-Squaresoft JRPGs like Suikoden, right? You know, like Lunar, like Grandia, right? And I was like, no, these are just as good, if not better. Why aren't you playing these two?
No, and that was
in Suikoden 2, which I think is one of the greatest JRPGs of all time, got like mediocre scores back then.
I know. I mean, ask Nick about Legend of Dragoon, right?
Well, yeah,
it's a great game.
I don't know. I mean, you know what? I'd rather play Legend of Dragoon than fucking Octopath Traveler any day of the fucking week. I'd do it right now.
Let me ask you a question then, okay? About, since you brought up Suikoden 2.
Yeah.
So the whole plan of today was to talk about games that we had gotten rid of and regretted because of Suikoden 2. We haven't even scratched on that at all.
I've regretted a lot of.
So am I okay to tell the story? I'm not gonna.
No, how about I tell the story?
Okay.
You're talking about how you got my Suikoden copies.
You had 2 of them, right? One disc only and one.
A mint condition Valkyrie profile.
Oh, did I buy your Valkyrie profile too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I still have that, man. It's on my shelf, never been played.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to go into all of the details of what was going on back in 2006, but I had moved in with some friends in Austin, and I was having a hard time finding a job, but I had already signed a lease, and I was like, well, I got to pay rent somehow. And David, being the nice guy he is, agreed to buy a few of my rarer games. And I sold him 2 copies of Suikoden 2 because I had to, because, you know, I was a bit of a collector of sorts, you know, where I would kind of hunt down, you know, like a good
That's pretty much what I'm doing now.
deal when it was available. And you know, I've always regretted that because, you know, but back then I really needed that money, and you were in a position to buy those games. And Valkyrie Profile.
How rare is Suikoden 2 now?
It's still rare, but I think ever since it came out on PSN, I think maybe it's not as much. But
right, I mean, I saw a sealed copy. They wanted like $400 for it, and I think that was. I don't think it's that much.
Well, sealed, yeah.
But even sealed,
I don't even care about cases anymore. I will buy just discs if I can.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the kind of collector.
Why would you want the disc? Just buy it on PSN.
Well, it's because I have a CRT set up.
Okay.
No, but I mean, like that game, like a PS1 game playing on your PS3 on an HD TV, it doesn't look great.
Yeah, it does.
A lot of PS1 stuff looks really bad.
No, I played Dino Crisis 1 and 2. It looked fine. I beat Fear Effect 1 and 2. Those look fine too. I don't know what kind of graphical fidelity you're getting out of your CRTV.
It's not about fidelity. It's just about, you know, I have all this stuff hooked up real easily, you know.
Okay. So you want your copy of Suikoden 2 back, right?
But you don't have it anymore, right? Like the way you were talking about made it suggest like you have a different copy.
No, I have yours. I still have yours. I don't have the disc copy anymore. I think I may have gave it to a friend.
I sold you a disc copy and my original complete copy.
Do you remember there being a crack on the case in the back?
I don't fucking remember.
Okay, because there's a crack on the back. I don't know if it was when I moved or if it was just actually like that in the first. Here's the thing. I'll give you the Suikoden 2 back. I'll give it to you.
Well, I gotta finish Blinx 2. What are you
gotta
talking about?
Blinx.
Well, what is the fucking catch here?
The catch is I just want you to finish Blinx.
I told you I'd buy it.
Okay. Well, you can give me the money if you like, but I'm not selling it to you till you beat Blinx.
But I thought I was already going to beat Blinx.
Okay, well. Yeah,
are you going to do another?
A chicken in hand is worth 2 in the bush.
What? What did you say?
A chicken in hand is worth 2 in the bush. That's the saying, right?
That sounds sexual.
No.
What are you talking about?
A chicken in hand. I have a chicken in my hand, right? One chicken in hand is worth 2 of them that are still in the bushes. The bush. A chicken in hand is worth 2 in the bush.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if you're. I was gonna beat Blinx. Okay, you were gonna beat Blinx, so it shouldn't be any problem. But yeah, I'll sell your copy back, or you can just have it. It's up to you. I'll let you. I'll leave it up to you.
How about you come up with a more interesting bet?
Okay. You don't want that. You don't want to. You guys see this chat season? You see how it is? Brad doesn't like getting tied down, dude. He doesn't want to have any commitments whatsoever. I'm surprised
well, I mean,
you got married and had a kid.
It's still a very valuable thing. I don't want you to just give it to me.
Okay, well, you could buy it. I told you could buy it off me. You just got to finish Blinx, dude. Watch that. Wait.
I can't. I have to finish Blinx before I can buy it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wait,
I will give it to you. This is your copy. Remember, this is your copy. The copy that you've always regretted. This is what you said the other day. I've always regretted selling that to you. And it's something I'd like to rectify.
No, I said very specifically it's something I want to buy back.
Yeah, I know that. And I told you I would give it to you if you beat Blinx.
Well, you're saying that now.
No, I'm saying. What do you mean? I didn't say it back then because we weren't recording a podcast.
What is with Blinx? What is with Blinx?
There's nothing with Blinx. I just want you to finish it.
You want me to suffer. You don't want the money. You'd rather me suffer. You think it's funny that I'm playing Blinx right now. Blinx the fucking time sweeper.
It's fucking hilarious, man. I saw you playing that shit.
It's not that bad. It's just got some
It's not
big
that bad.
flaws.
It's not that bad, but I just want to be able to relate to you and say, okay, now he knows. Now he knows why I played this game. He knows the full experience.
Could you not pull any other game out of your ass than Blinx?
Octopath Traveler. If Brad beats Octopath Traveler, I will give him Suikoden back. Woo!
That game's 80 hours long and I don't even own it. Can I just give you that money? I'm not gonna buy Octopath
You said it on the game. Sorry, we're still talking, right?
How much do you want for Suikoden 2?
I told you, man. I don't even care about the money. You already know I don't care about the money. If you want to give me money, you can give me money. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
But only after I beat Blinx.
No, it's that you're making it as if you're making it as if I'm holding you hostage. Like you can't buy it until you beat Blinx. I'm not saying you can't buy it. I'm just saying here, beat Blinx and I'll give it to you. Just give it to you.
You'll FedEx it to me?
Yeah, sure. I'll FedEx it, or I'll, bring it. You can bring it to you next time I'm in Austin, or whatever.
How often do you come up to Austin?
Once or twice a year.
Jesus Christ. Octopath Traveler.
I don't think you have to worry about that. Okay, yeah. You want to throw Nino Cooney in the mix too?
Do you want to know something I regret?
Oh yeah, sure. About games you sold?
No, something I regret. I regret not finishing Panzer Dragoon Saga while I had your copy.
Yeah, you can borrow that if you want.
I got it working in an emulator.
How good is that game though? Because I remember starting it up and being like, "What the fuck?"
No, I think it's cool. I just never finished it. But it's a 98 game. Next month we're doing 1998 month. Suikoden 2 is a 98 game. Panzer Dragoon Saga is a 98 game.
Why don't y'all didn't y'all do 98 games before?
No, we did 96 month.
Oh, 96 month.
But this is the 20th anniversary of 98.
So next time you're doing 99?
No, not necessarily. Don't spoil it, jeez. No, like we didn't do 97 month or anything, but 98 month is, I think it's special. I think it's the best year ever, for a game.
I'd say quit living in the past.
But it's just kind of a fun thing to do.
Have you talked about all the stuff that's out? That's like all the stuff that you're going to play.
We started to, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm saying you haven't like released a list or anything, right?
No, I mean we've been openly talking about stuff. We don't have enough. We're still working on like an official calendar sort of thing.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna do a samurai versus ninja night. Stream, maybe a couple streams of. It's gonna be Brave Fencer Musashi versus Mystical Ninja or starring Goemon.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Mystical Ninja.
I feel like they're contemporaries. They're kind of similar. I mean, they're different, obviously, in a lot of ways, but
dude, go on Mystical Ninja 64 featuring Goemon, man. That's still great. Dash 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 when they're doing the little the what's it called? What's the robot called? I can't even remember. Complex.
I've never played it.
You never played it? It's fantastic, dude.
That's why. This is why I like 1998 month. I don't use it to. Not everything I play is stuff that I've played before. I always like to play some games that I've never played or I've never finished.
I take this back. Okay, Goemon 64, buggy as shit. I tried to play that game again. It's not exactly the easiest to go back and play, but it has some really, really cool, awesome. You have to play as, what is that damn robot's name, dude? There's a robot in the game you have to play at, and you have to like, it's like a punching stuff. Again, this is why I didn't think Wonderful 101 was that like amazing. There's other games have Codename Steam done it better. Mystical Ninja 64. It's been a long time since I played that game, but I think that game did it better too.
Yeah, but I don't mind. I know it's going to be kind of fucked, but that's what I
It's
like about going back.
It's pretty fucked, yeah. You gotta remember the camera controls were done with the C buttons back then.
I posted some polls today, a couple of polls on what people want to see me play. I'm going to check them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where can someone in chat post those polls? I'm not, because they're.
Can I talk to you a game that I'm really enjoying right now? That
Here it is. Hold on. Hold that thought. You're playing something right now. Hold that thought. I did 2 polls. One, I said, what 1998 FPS should I play for 98 month? Half-Life is winning. Second place is Turok 2.
Oh, play Turok 2, dude.
Can you play?
Can you play the Turok 2 HD collection thing?
Yeah, I think in those situations that's acceptable. Okay. Since it's just like a HDification. But
I've been wanting to play Turok. I'm waiting for it to go on sale so I can pick up Turok.
I would only play Half-Life because I feel like it's one of the big 1998 games, and somebody.
No, sure, but I mean, I've never finished Half-Life.
Well, a lot of people give up when they get to Zen, but.
Well, I gave up in the very beginning. There's a part where you go into the lab and like this alien shows up in the lab. He just flashes and shows up there, and then he flashes away.
You got scared or something?
Yeah.
It can be kind of scary, Half-Life, for sure, especially with the head grabs and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
And then I was like, fuck
I did another poll. Wow,
Is it play? Okay, here's the thing. Half-Life, how is it playable now, and what would I play it on?
Yeah, PC. Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing you really can play it on. That's worth it.
Have you ever played this game, Mom Hid My Game?
I heard about it, yeah.
Have you ever played the game?
No.
I just bought it for Switch. I had it for my iPhone, but I bought it for Switch recently. That game's fucking hilarious. It's great.
Is this the one you're talking about?
No, this is a different game.
The other one was, I did what action adventure game should I play? It was Tomb Raider 3 versus Oddworld Abe's Exodus versus Tomba versus Nightmare Creatures. Tomb Raider 3 is in the lead, followed very closely by Nightmare Creatures and Tomba.
Tomb Raider 3 is pretty good, right?
Well, I've only played like a couple of levels of Tomb Raider 3. It's one of the reasons it's on the poll. That one is not. That one is like notoriously difficult and obtuse. It's probably the hardest Tomb Raider game, and I'm kind of scared of it. And I was like, Jack, I could do this, right? And he's like, I don't know, dog. That game's kind of fucked. And I wanted him to say, yeah, man, you can do it. But he didn't. So I'm scared of it. People are saying even with like a strategy guide, that game's like impossible to figure out what the fuck you're supposed to do. Fuck. Yeah. Oh, there is a fan made remake called Black Mesa of Half-Life. You could play that.
Really?
I mean, it's on Steam. You can just download it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just buy it?
Well, I don't even think they sell it now? It used to be free, but
really?
But Steam or Valve gave permission for it to be sold. Yeah, it's finished. Is it finished now? Did they ever finish the Zen stuff? Yeah, it's $20.
So it's an acceptable.
It's sort of like a modern remake of it.
Oh, but I have to play it on PC, right?
You don't like playing stuff on PC? It's
not really.
Almost done. It's probably going to be Turok 2, or I'll probably play some Half-Life.
Well, why are you taking Are you taking a poll, right?
Yeah.
So whatever wins the poll is what you're going to play.
Not necessarily.
Oh, well then what the fuck is the point of taking a poll if you're not going to play that?
No, I'm not going to play Half-Life, but the thing is, I look at 1998 games. I have a ton, and there's a ton more. There's a lot of options. It was a really good year, and it's hard kind of narrowing stuff down. So I use polls to kind of gauge to kind of gauge people's interest and to help me make decisions. I look at this poll. Half-Life has 42%. Turok 2 has 33%. But then below that, the other two choices are like 12 and 13%. I'm like, I'm probably not going to play those two games at all.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
because it probably means no one wants to, whatever. 141 people voted. Most of those people don't want to watch those games, it sounds like.
Oh.
But, but I'd say this. If it's something that I know people don't want to watch, but I still want to play it, it's not going to go in the poll. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
Blinx.
You should play.
Fucking Blinx. It has a pretty good look to it.
Yeah,
Blinx.
It's got a great look. It got great soundtrack. Pretty interesting mechanic. The bad guys are not exactly the greatest designs, but I mean,
sure, but it's satisfying, kind of shooting shit at them, kind of jumping up in the air and like lining up a.
Because you can't just shoot it straight, right? You have to jump.
Yeah, but that makes it somewhat satisfying. Any sort of like jump and attack or whatever is kind of.
So you would support a Blinx 3?
No, I don't know. I haven't finished this fucking one.
Blinx HD collection.
No.
Remake Blinx 1.
I'm not supporting this.
Blink. I keep wanting to say Brinks.
You know what? I would support it if it's Microsoft doing a new IP, or I mean, not a new IP, but something that's not Forza or Gears or Halo.
Yeah.
So yes, I would support a new Sudeki at this point.
Oh God. What about a new Brute Force?
No, not Brute Force.
Huh? What about a Tao Feng, huh? Would you want a new Tao Feng?
Listen, man, there's stuff they could do.
How about a new Fusion Frenzy?
There's stuff they could do. I don't know. It's cool that they bought all these studios. Hopefully they do cool stuff. Stop canceling games. I can't believe they canceled that last Fable game. I mean, I know people weren't like super hyped on it, but it seemed somewhat unique. The Fable Legends?
No clue. I have no clue. I don't follow Fable.
Oh. Boy. Yeah, I don't know.
So you want to hear about this game that I've been playing?
Yeah, go for it.
So on a whim, I picked up, not picked up. I rented Hotel Transylvania 3.
What the fuck? What is that?
That's my question. That was my question. What is?
When you rented it?
Yeah, I rented from Redbox, and I suggest you rent it too.
You suggest I rent it?
Yes, and give it a try. Because what kind of game? I've played the Toy Story 3 game. I've played the Megamind game.
Toy Story 3 was somewhat hyped, you know?
Yeah, and again, I played Megamind, right?
Megamind?
Yeah, Megamind. Megamind's a shitty platformer where you just run around and jump over shit and shoot stuff.
Okay, so what is Hotel Transylvania 3? You run a hotel?
That's what I'm asking you. What do you think that game plays
I've never even seen a trailer for the movie.
Have you never seen any of the movies?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Hotel Transylvania is like Dracula has a daughter, and the daughter wants to go see the world and doesn't want to let her see it, and he's like having a big monster party, and all the monsters come to the hotel to stay, and blah blah blah, this and that. So that was the first movie, and then this second movie, like the daughter gets married to some human, and they have a kid, and I don't know what happens in the second one. But the third one, they go on a cruise.
They go on a. I didn't know you were a big Hotel Transylvania fan.
I'm not at all. But it was at Redbox, and I was like, well, I have a bunch of free rentals. I might as well try. Like, I'm curious, like, because I assumed it would play like Megamind. I'm just like, okay, we'll see how it plays. Okay, whatever. And then I popped it in, and like, I flipped my shit yesterday when I figured out when I discovered what happened.
Fucking RTS? What is it? Sports game?
It's basically Pikmin, dude.
Oh, I fucking heard about this. I heard that it was
because you're on the cruise
someone
ship.
Mentioned that this was Pikmin.
You're on the cruise ship. You crash your cruise ship. All of the monsters get spread out over a course of the islands, and you're either as Dracula or his daughter. What's her name again? Violet. Damn it, I can't remember her name. But you're running around on the island. You pick up these little bat dudes, and the bats, you send them out to go like chop down trees and carry back like gems so you can respawn more bats, and and fight like giant crabs and knock them out.
So who's the developer?
And pick up pieces so you can put it on and make a bridge or like raise a ramp so you can get to the next area.
So it really is just Pikmin?
I mean, pretty much, dude. You know what's even the crazier thing is?
What?
So Dracula and his daughter are what?
Vampires?
They're vampires. So you can only work
at night?
At night. So there's a time limit that you have to get everything done before the sun comes up.
So who's the developer?
I have no fucking clue, but I played that shit and I was like, what the fuck is even going on? And so right now I just have the bats, but on the you can see a little D-pad icon on the left. So and the bats are on the top. So left, down, and right, I guess, are some other class of
a monster class that can go in water. Yeah,
or like something that can burrow through. Because there's been a couple mud walls that I haven't been able to get around, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have something to dig through that or something.
The developer is Outright Games. Let's see.
It's the most mind-boggling. Like, what the fuck is this game? I cannot believe it.
Let's see. They've developed. Wow. Okay.
What did they develop?
Ben 10.
Like, I don't know.
Adventure Time Pirates of the
Enchiridion.
Really?
Really? That comes out this week. I might pick that up then.
Also, they're working on a Paw Patrol on a Roll and Crayola Scoot.
I had no clue what to expect, man. I picked this game up just to like, okay, well, let me see how bad this game or what kind of game this is, just so I know.
Oh, they also worked on How to Train Your Dragon 2, Barbie Puppy Rescue, Kung Fu Panda, one of them, and Monster High.
You have never beaten a Pikmin game, right?
No, I beat 3.
You beat 3. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You never beat 1 or 2 though. Huh?
I beat 3. I like 3.
3 was pretty hectic. You played with a pointer, right?
I don't remember. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I played with.
I think the game is pretty much unplayable with a gamepad, and I know somebody.
Oh yeah. I didn't play with the gamepad.
And I know somebody who beat the whole game with the gamepad and said he hated the game, and I was like, well, he said he didn't like it. I was like, how did you not like Pikmin 3? He's like, I don't know, I just didn't like it. I couldn't control right. And I was like, wait a minute, did you play with a gamepad? And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude. I was like, I cannot believe you played that game with a gamepad. No wonder you hated it. You played with a Wii pointer, and I think you replayed it, and he was like, oh my god, dude, this is a completely different game. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so.
Why are you talking shit about my CRT? It's S-Video, man. It looks good.
Me?
Yeah.
What did I say? I was talking shit about it.
I have a bunch of shit hooked up.
I could. You can get it. You want to get a copy of Silent Scope? I have the scope for it, dude.
You know what? You know what I really want, and this is crazy. I found some. I want to get a PSP Go.
PSP Go
with the S-Video cables.
But PSP Go is they don't take PSP games, right? They just you can only download them.
Yeah, but you just hack it or whatever. Because you can't even like buy that stuff anymore, I don't think, right? Didn't they discontinue the PSP store on PSPs?
Really?
I think so.
Maybe.
But the point is,
because that's the thing. I don't know how to play Metal Gear Acid on the feed. I mean, I could plug my PSP in directly. Remember that's how I beat Prinny? The first Prinny game I played entirely on a PSP plugged into the TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well,
dude.
So that's what I want to do is I want to be able to play my PSP games and PS1 games on the PSP on the CRT.
Okay, and then?
Well, if you have a PSP Go, they have S-Video cables for them, but they're pretty expensive. But you can sync a PS3 controller. You can't do that with the other PSPs.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So you just play with the PS3 controller.
It's cool that they can play PS1 games, the PSPs, but they've never been good because they've never had 4 shoulder buttons. You know, it's always been kind of awkward. This way, it would be a good way to, you know.
The Go doesn't have 4 shoulder control, but you can sync the controller. You're saying
the what?
The PSP Go doesn't have 4 shoulder buttons.
It doesn't, but you can. That's the only one you can sync the
controller.
controller to. Yeah.
So you can use the controller as a thing.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you ever own a Game Boy Micro?
No.
Really? I thought I could have swore you had a Game Boy Micro.
No.
Or did you borrow my Game Boy Micro?
No. I've never been. I mean, I have a GBA SP2. You know, that's
SP2.
Or like
I know,
a DS Lite.
Dude,
I feel like it's maybe the best way to play GBA games because you can but use headphones and stuff.
But before the DS Lite, dude, there was a Game Boy Micro. I still have my Game Boy Micro, by the way.
I mean, it works for some games, but you're not going to play fucking Fire Emblem on it or Advance Wars. It's too small, you know?
You know what I used to play on it?
What?
Rhythm Tengoku, and I used to play WarioWare.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, man, it was so cool. Maybe I'm just going to start carrying that around with me everywhere.
What's cool is I've seen modded DS Lites where they remove the top screen and do a lot of stuff just to make them like really cool Game Boy Advances.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and on the hinge they put like a light along the. Well, you just have to see them. It's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what I hate? I hate that the modern handhelds never got longer battery lives.
The modern handhelds, yeah, because the thing is, longer battery lives are not a big deal anymore, right? It's all about form factor and smaller and portability. And it's to the point where like your phones don't have any battery life at all, anyways. But you always have a charger like at everywhere you go. You go to the airport, there's a charging station. You go to work, you start a charging station. You're driving in the car, charging station. You're on the airplane, flying in the air, charging station.
Yeah.
So now it doesn't even matter.
Well, but it's not like that with the 3DS. You know, it's not that kind of common cable or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You seem to be getting to a point where you're running out of stuff to say.
I don't know. If you say something that would inspire me to talk about stuff, but I should probably go to bed pretty soon. I gotta go swimming in the morning.
Swimming?
Yeah.
The pool?
Yeah.
What for? What for? What's the significance of you swimming in the morning?
Well, it's not me. It's the baby wants to go swimming tomorrow morning.
Is the baby old enough to swim?
We did swim lessons about a month ago.
Wait, your kid can't talk.
No, he can't swim, but it's just a baby swim lessons are just to kind of get you comfortable in the water.
Get you or get him?
Get him comfortable. I mean, I'm still going to be holding him when we're in the water, but you know.
Well, what? If he can't talk, how is he going to swim?
Well, that's not how it works.
Well, I'm saying, how can he walk?
Well, he's very soon. He will be walking.
If he can't walk, then how's he going to swim? Learn to walk before you swim, right? Isn't that the saying?
Swim. He just bounces around in the water.
Bounces?
Yeah.
Like how? Oh, you put him in a float device?
Well, he has one.
This is supposed to be for like a life-saving technique, right?
No.
Like if the kid ever falls in the pool, he knows how to float.
Well, yeah, they do teach him that. Not at his age, though.
Okay, so because he's not cognitively able to like recognize.
Well, you can't tell him to do anything because he doesn't quite understand yet.
This does not make sense, then, dude. It does not make sense what you're bringing him to the pool for.
Well, it's because Nana likes to go to the pool, So
Nana?
Nana likes to go to the pool, so Henry needs to be comfortable being in the pool because Nana wants to go to the pool.
Is that what you call your wife?
No.
The fuck is Nana?
Nana's his grandma.
Oh,
My mother.
Nana?
Yes. So,
I thought you called freaking Malia Nana. I was like, where did you come up with
you know
that?
what a fucking Nana is?
No, I didn't have a Nana when I was growing up, okay?
Sure.
I had an
know.
IE and I had a
fucking
Ama.
Meemaw, whatever, you know. It's
Meemaw? The only time I've ever heard Meemaw is from Big Bang Theory. Nana. Nana likes to go to the pool.
Nana likes to go to the pool. Nana watches Henry 2 days a week. So
you're going along too?
no.
Oh, so you're not going. So what the fuck does it mean I have to get up early
No,
to go
I'm
swim?
going. My wife is going. Henry's going to the pool because we're trying to get him to feel comfortable in the water because fucking Nana is going to be taking him all the goddamn time.
Ah, okay. So she's not involved tomorrow.
No.
Okay. She's not involved tomorrow.
No. She doesn't.
This is a way so you can pass your kid off to somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we just don't want him to be freaking out, you know, when he's alone with Nana.
Well, I think that's more of a situation than being in the water, right? Like, I think it's... You said you don't want your kid to be freaking out when he's with Nana. That is more of a situation than in the water, right?
Yeah, in the water.
Okay. That's so funny. Do you remember... Oh, never mind. Well, when I needed to learn how to swim, my parents just pushed me in the pool.
Yeah, I mean, some people do that.
Yeah. They're like, learn how to swim. But this was when I was a lot older. I'm sure I was able to talk. That's interesting. Have you ever had any challenges? What's the biggest challenge with having kids?
Just being tired all the time?
Yeah.
Well, it's the feeling that it's never going to end. You can never just relax. You know what I mean? Because he's always going to be fucking hungry. He's always going to shit his diaper. He's always going to need to take a fucking nap. He's always going to be fucking with shit that he shouldn't be fucking with shit. And it's never going to be like, well...
Fucking with shit!
Well,
I've heard you talk about that, about your dog in that way.
Eventually, yeah, but, you know, a dog, whatever. You just fucking put it in the other room or put it outside and it stops bothering you for a while.
You're not worried about the dog or anything? Like biting your kid or, you know?
Well, you know, you do have to worry about that. But they sort of learn to just walk away when they see him fucking charging towards them.
The dog?
No, Henry will start charging towards the dogs and they'll be like, they don't stick around. We sort of taught them to, if they feel annoyed or cornered, just to walk away.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Walk away. Just turn the other cheek, right?
Yeah. Because he's a fucking, he'll just pull on their ears and paws and shit. And
dude, I mean, I would...
But the dogs aren't big dogs. You know,
I'm not a big dog person, so it's probably easy for me to say this, but I wouldn't even keep dogs in the house if I had a kid.
Well, if they were bigger dogs, yeah, we wouldn't. We wouldn't let them crawl around near a bigger dog, but they're smaller dogs.
But are you not worried about like ringworms from like dog's ass or something?
I don't know. I don't know. No.
No? Because I remember, I think a couple times I slept on your couch and I got like pink eye from...
What?
From your dogs. Remember there's one time.
Get pink eye.
I slept over at your house once, I remember. And then like the next day I saw your dog with his fucking stank ass sitting on the couch.
Okay.
And I was like, God damn it, I put my face on that couch.
And you didn't get pink eye. And
his butthole was on it, dude. Like right after he took a dump. I remember that. I was like, God damn it, I'm never sleeping over at Brad's place again.
Jesus.
I remember that specifically. I was just like, dude, I just had my face on there sleeping last night, and now his dog is just jumping on the couch, and Brad's not saying anything. He's not like, get off my fucking couch. He's just like, why are you doing that?
Well, don't sleep on the couch. Pink eye. No, you gotta let fucking kids get fucking dirty because that's how they build up their immune systems, you know?
Yeah, right? You let them eat their boogers and stuff?
That's just gross.
No, but that's how you're supposed to, because boogers are weakened viruses or weakened bacteria, because your booger mucus
Stop
is like...
talking about boogers.
Really?
He doesn't eat boogers yet, but I'm sure he will, and that's gonna be fucking gross.
Does it bother you? Why are you so grossed about a
I didn't eat boogers when I was a kid. Maybe he won't.
I will admit to it. I ate boogers when I was a kid.
Ah.
And I remember what scared me out of it, because my grandma told me, like, something. It was like something. If I ate them, I was gonna grow snakes in my stomach, and it just scared me out of it. And then I never ate them again.
That's horrifying. Snakes in your stomach?
Yeah, snakes or dragons or lizards or something like that. I forget what exact word she used in Chinese.
Dragons.
But I remember that, and then I was just like, yeah. What's up?
Maybe this is a good time to wrap up.
Okay, how are we gonna wrap this up? You gonna try out Hotel Transylvania 3?
No.
It's free. Games are free right now to rent, dude. It's on.
There's nothing at the Redbox that I want to or have time to play right now.
The Crew 2.
No.
What's wrong with Crew 2?
It sucks from what I hear and know.
It's the Crew 1. The Crew 1 is kind of like
I got Dirt Rally off the summer sale off PSN summer sale.
It's like Need for Speed. Need for Speed.
And I've been playing it in VR, but I get motion sick.
Oh, what game? You said there's somebody told me there was some VR game you were playing this week that you thought was the best VR game ever made.
What?
I don't know. That's what they said.
Well, I think they heard wrong.
There was a VR
game I've ever played is Super Hot VR.
Super Hot?
Super Hot VR. Do you have a VR?
I do. I have not played it since the first day I opened it.
You have it's a PSVR?
Yes.
And you have two move controllers?
I have at least one. I might have two.
You need two, but play Super Hot VR.
Okay.
Yeah. Trust me.
I just noticed you have an Advance Wars wallpaper.
What? What are you looking at?
On your Twitter. On Twitter, you have an Advance Wars VR.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate those stupid tanks, dude. Those like spider tanks. Those are dumb. Oh, by the way, I started up what's it called recently. I started up Advance Wars again. Advance Wars 1.
It's a good game.
Oh, the club is great. Have you ever played the club? I love the club.
The club? Yeah, I know you like the club. I played some of it.
Apparently not enough. Was that 1998?
The club?
You took fucking forever to answer that shit. It's like you're looking it up or something. I heard you go clack, 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 clack.
No, I was responding to a tweet.
Okay. So yeah. So I guess that's it.
Oh, let me ask you. Did you buy a bunch of eShop points for the Wii before you weren't able to buy them anymore?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Was it with anything in mind, or did you just buy a bunch of points?
I bought a bunch of the stuff that I knew I wanted for sure. And then which is thanks for reminding me, because I probably have like 4 or 5 months to use that all before it all goes away.
It's such a shame. There's a lot of cool stuff on there.
I maxed it out. I put the full $200 on there.
Holy shit.
I maxed my Wii. My Wii shop has, 20,000 points or whatever the conversion rate is right now. So just in case there's anything that I wanted to get. I mean, I looked at a bunch of stuff. There was one game that they didn't sell anymore, which was super frustrating. What was it called? Like magical something is not available anymore. You can't find it anywhere.
I always hate that. Do you always try to pick up games when they're going off of, like, did you get What was
No.
it?
I didn't get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the virtual console for the
That one
NES.
sucked though.
Yeah, well, I'm actually pretty good at the game, so.
Wait, which one?
Teenage
Are
Mutant
we
Ninja
thinking of the same one?
Yeah, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the one where you're swimming around by Konami.
Oh no. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. No. Did you get Afterburner Climax
On
back
the
in
Wii?
day? No, that was a 360 game.
Oh, no, I didn't get that. I didn't get what's it called either.
And
There
it
was
doesn't exist anymore. You can't even buy that in any form anymore. It's sad. It's just
Terrible.
a video game that just disappeared into the ether.
Yeah, there's a couple of those games. Like there's a Bonsai Barber, I think was one of them on the Wii.
Yeah.
I would read them all off, but I deleted them off my
Muscle
thing.
March.
Muscle March, I got. I have it on my Japanese one. I think I bought a regular.
Yeah.
And then
But what's it called? There's I don't know what you would call them. I mean, they'll always exist through like emulation, at least the Wii stuff.
mhm.
But I don't know if you can get Afterburner Climax.
Oh, Virtual Console here. So here's the stuff that I'm looking at. Okay, there's a Mr. Driller game on there.
Really? Well,
So
make sure
Mr.
you get
Dr-
all the WiiWare stuff.
I pretty much did. I don't know what else I'm missing, but there's a couple. There's a Tales of Bearsworth. I don't know if that's any good, but yeah.
You got all the Konami stuff.
Yeah, I got the 3 Konamis. It's
I feel like
the Castlevania, the Contra, and the.
there's shit that I bought on your systems back in the day that I thought I had and I didn't actually have, and it's like fuck.
Yeah, and Gradius Rebirth. That's what it was. The other one,
Yeah.
the other Konami one. Yeah, because you had Contra
Or
Rebirth.
Castlevania.
Contra Rebirth. I know you bought that on mine, and then you also bought the My Life as a Dark Lord.
Not Contra, Castlevania. Adventure
No.
Rebirth.
No, I bought that recently.
Oh.
You bought Contra though.
Yeah.
I remember, and then you bought also Bit Trip, or did I buy Bit Trip?
I don't know.
I remember you bought Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
I still have that on my fucking game, dude. On my
Fuck
cat.
that, yeah. Alright, I'm going to sleep.
All right, man.